my god, you guys! It's actually happening!
Oh my god, look at my roots!
I've been wanting to do this for years, and I haven't. I thought about it for a while, what I wanted to start off my first video with, and the idea came to me, actually, over the last 2 weeks of being home. If you haven't seen that whole video and debacle of me getting home, check the link below. That has literally the whole description of what my journey was like to get back here to the States, which I'm finally back home, and I'm so happy to be here, and now making this vlog for you guys. What I wanted to talk about with you guys today is staying grounded in your career path during COVID-19. Over the last couple of weeks, this conversation has come up
a lot.
Especially for my performer friends out there, singers, dancers, actors, everyone. Now, I know some people realize that the job that they are in is not the one that they necessarily wanted to be in, and this was the perfect opportunity to figure that out. And for some people, this is only just making their bond stronger with the career path that they are on and that they miss it. So a couple days ago, I was out on my front lawn with my mom, and a friend of ours was walking down the street, and she saw that I was home and she hadn't seen me yet, and so we stood 6 feet apart and chatted for a little bit. As soon as she graduated and tried to get out into the real world, this is not the career path that she wanted to take, and so she's been in and out of dozens of jobs. Looking at this situation at the bare minimum, you're making money and you're supporting yourself. You're trying to get to your career path, and this is going to help you do that. She's able to, take a breather from all the chaos of trying to figure out what is the path I should be taking and what isn't the path I should be taking. I think that's a positive outlook on, what is going on right now, and that it's okay to stop every once in a while and take a breath and think, is this what I want to be doing? Yes or no? And how is that then going to affect me? Sometimes writing a pro-con list is one of the most effective ways to figure out what is the right thing for me to do. It's a thought process, but it's worth it in the end. Jumping back to when I was still on the ship, and you'll know who you are if you're watching this. I remember having a conversation at dinner one time about if we weren't doing what we were doing with our lives, what would we be doing? And in that moment, I jumped back to a conversation I'd had in high school with a couple of my peers, and the words I chose were, I'm not smart enough to do anything else. And that sounds awful, but in that moment, I was only thinking about theater. Going to now the most recent conversation I had, I remember saying I would go back to school and learn how to run a horse farm, train horses and ride them, and do the business end of things for owning a horse farm or stables. So my point, even though we had talked about things that we would have done with our lives, I wouldn't change my degree, what I'm doing with my life, for anything in the world. We then got into the topic of discussion of if it came down to it, realistically, if I had to do something else with my life, I probably would be a voice teacher. I like the aspect of giving something to people to work on and make themselves better, especially if it is something that they want to do. The gift of teaching someone how to sing properly and go off and do things with their life that pertain to what I taught them, how we created a relationship, a bond. Here's the experience that I had recently that made me reorient my mind a little differently about staying committed to my career path and feeling grounded in what I'm doing with my life during COVID-19. I was at a doctor's appointment, just a regular physical, and it was actually with a new doctor. We got onto the topic of, where I was at the beginnings of all this, and I told her I was on a cruise ship, and
that conversation went on for a good 15 minutes.
One of the things that got me at the very beginning of the conversation was just her facial expression and how stunned she seemed at the occupation I was in. And I've gotten that look
Many times.
I went to my 4 years of college, I got a degree in it, that is what I chose to do with my life. I get this conversation so many times from people, and it's like, I respect you in the line of work that you're in, I would at least like the same respect in return. And I think the other thing that got me with this is coming out of the mouth of a woman who makes 6 figures and currently has a job. Let me know in the comments below if you've experienced this as well, whether it's with people you barely know, whether it's with family members saying, I don't know why you chose this career path, you're not going to be successful, you're not going to make any money. First of all, I could care less about the money, whether I make $1 a year or $100,000 a year. I would rather be happy in the job that I'm doing than being in a job that I hate. I know already that I will always be looking for work Performing is the one aspect of my life where I feel like I'm accomplishing something, not just for myself, but for other people. Going back to my doctor's appointment, if you're happy in your job, I'm not commenting on you becoming a doctor. The very same thing you could do for me is not to comment negatively on my job and my career path, because I get it.
All the time.
You chose to do what you want with your life, and if it makes you happy, go with it. Okay? This brings me to a post that I found on Facebook, and it's repeatedly popped up for me. It has to do with people in the arts. If we didn't choose to go on the career path that we did, you wouldn't have your favorite TV shows on Netflix, you wouldn't have commercials to support the products that you buy, dancers and performers at the Super Bowl for whoever's performing. You wouldn't even have Disney. So if you're a Disney fan out there or you like going to Disney on vacation, you would not have Disney if it weren't for performers. So whether you're working on Broadway or you're working at the smallest theme park in the world, performing should be the baseline to all of this. If you enjoy it, you should keep doing it. With all of that said, I want everyone out there to know that I love the job that I do, and I'm not a quitter. To those who may be in your lives, who are small-minded and think that the career path that we chose to be an artist, it's stupid, or that we aren't gonna make any money. It's your life and you're choosing to do with it what you want. That's your decisions to make. That is your future to work on, not theirs. And they can't work on yours for you. It's only you. Well, I hope I've had a chance to balance your life out a little bit in some way today. Keep on the lookout for future videos. I'm very excited to see where this takes me in the coming weeks.
Maybe the coming months, maybe the coming years.
We will see where this path takes me and takes all of us. So if you have a topic that you would like me to discuss, put them in the comments below, and I will see you guys hopefully in the next week or so. Peace, love, and blessings to you all.